Welcome back. Dr. Ibrahim, the finance minister recently disclosed that the tax revenue ratio to the country's GDP has declined from 20% to 12%, with only about 4% of that being non-oil revenue. You were once a consultant to the Nigerian government on taxation. How can the country improve its revenue collection system?
I must appreciate the finance minister for a fantastic job that she's doing. She's making a record that is quite unbreakable, something that I think is legendary, something that will live for several years. But the fact remains is that we're in a recession. Aggressive taxation will keep businesses in recession. Recession started in 2008. In many countries today, what you need to do is to get rebates from tax authority. If you kill the business, you won't get a tax from the business again. So what we need to do now is to make sure that the business remain and survive the recession, and then you can tax the business forever. But if you come around and say, Air Nigeria, you are owing 6 billion, and the owner cannot pay, so I shut down Air Nigeria, you can't get a tax. Now you can't get another tax next year. But you become taxes from Air Nigeria for 8 years. So that's an example. So I think what we should do is not, the data presented by the finance minister is correct, but they must appreciate the fact that as at today, Nigeria is in recession. If I had known for her efforts, it would have been so terrible. Now, so what the finance minister should do now is to use taxation to ensure that the business survives. Not to use taxation to say, oh, we need more taxes, we want to collect more taxes. On what premise are you collecting more taxes? When the owner of the business, when the business itself is laying off full staff. So where are you going to get the tax from? And you still want the business to be on, you know. So to me, I don't want to come from that angle where we say, let's see measures by which we can collect more taxes. I think we should drive tax by pilot projects. We should bring people to tax nets, you know, and we should be able to appreciate that. So I think the issue now should not be how can we collect more taxes. No, I don't think so. It's how can we use taxes to stabilize business. So overall speaking, I think we should look at the tax again. We should use the tax to drive the economy. Not in time of excessive income making, in time of stabilizing the economy to make sure that businesses remain and they survive. And this recession will be over by next year, you know, because of what we are seeing now. I can tell you 3 things that will happen next year.
Tell me.
1, wealth creation will increase from next year, you know. 2, the mortality paternity rate will go up. So the life expectancy will increase from 42 years to 62 years. So when the 20 years is added to the life of every other person living right now because of health environment and the ecosystem improvements. Now the last one that's a bad news is that insurgency will increase. You know, so you can see Boko Haram today, you get out of it. You see Ebola, you get out of it. Another thing is going to come again the next 3 months. You're going to talk about it, me and you. So obviously, the level of insurgency continues to increase from time to time. And these are areas that we really have to work and we're going to spend money to curtail. So things like it doesn't mean that now today government is spending a lot of money on Boko Haram insurgency. If not because of what happened in Lagos and the way Nigeria reacted to Boko Haram, the Ebola issue, you could spend times 20 on the Boko Haram, you know, expedition on Ebola. Again, where do you get the money from? Yes, we have issues about going to raise the money from taxation, but taxes is not the only area where you can make money. You know, there are other areas where you can make money. So I think the key thing is that we should use tax to drive the economy. But that's not to say that people should not pay their taxes.
Tax evasion is a big problem, isn't it?
Well, tax evasion and tax avoidance, they are two different things. You know, if you evade tax, it's a criminal offense. If you avoid tax, it's not a criminal offense. If I go to Ondo and the governor suddenly say my income tax is 100 million naira, you know, per year, then I decide to go and live in Ogun State and my tax is just 10 million naira. So I get income tax certificate from Ogun State. I cannot double pay income again in Ondo. And tax certificate is for 1 income per head. So the issue here is there's a different. I have not evaded tax, but I've avoided excessive double taxation. That is not a crime. You can avoid tax.
You also have interests in insurance. The Nigerian Insurance Association recently urged the federal government to waive some sections of the Companies Income Tax Act of 2007 because they say the law places a heavy burden on underwriting firms. What exactly is wrong with that?
Yeah, well, the income tax, again, it has to do with education. Director expenses are not subject to income. Now, if I take a ticket to travel to London, you put tax on that expenditure. That's not allowed under the tax law. But the tax officer will never agree. They will just bundle anything to you as this is your income tax. So the expenditure you use in the course of running the business is not tax deductible. It's not deductible against it's not taxable against the income. Now I'm running a company. Now I have to fuel the car. I have to carry children to school. I have to come to the office. I have to go and look for the business. I have to do advertisement. These are expenses in the ordinary course of the business. They are not subject to income tax. But when you put everything on income tax, you say, okay, what is your income this year? You see gross income is 500 million naira. Okay, your tax is 10% of that one. We give you a 750 million. How did you come by that? You can make a gross income of 500 million and still make a loss. So the key thing here is that the income tax, the computation of income tax become an issue. And that's why the National is just right in making those exceptions that they are trying to talk about in income tax. You know, because you have to pay minimum tax at very worst scenario. But the issue is that if I capture my expenses in running the business, which are not deductible, which are deductible against the income, will you allow me to make that deduction? We want to pay tax. Why will you not pay tax for your country? It's our dear country. We love the country so much. People want to pay their income tax, but we should try and guide people in terms of what is actually due to be paid. I think the government should set up a tax school, because right now you see in the universities, there are some universities awarding degree in taxation, and I'm bothered. And I've been saying this for a very long time. Nobody's even going to school to say, I'm studying BSc tax, or taxation. No, nobody's doing that. So the education is not there. So government should either set up an institute of taxation for people to go and learn or do whatever it is, or the university curriculum should be amended, whereby they can introduce something like BSc taxation, the way we have BSc economics, so that we can create personnel that will be able to come to help our tax system. I think the tax system still a lot of road to go.
We've heard this expression so often that it's become trite. In a brain-based economy, your best assets are people. So what can organizations do to attract and retain the best brains?
In recession is difficult because people are thinking about setting up their own because they are frustrated. So in a recession is difficult. Again, now that the economy is moving towards modern period of technology, it's also difficult to retain people. The only way you can retain people is by short of give them share in your company. I think that is what we are going to end up with. So if you say to the workers that you also a shareholder in this company,
you have a stake
and you have the share certificate, you're going to get dividend at the end of the year, and the shares are listed in the stock exchange, I think their loyalty will be right in there, because nobody wants to. People are going beyond salary, so they also think that if they work continuously for 10 years, nothing is actually coming out meaningfully. I've been collecting salary for 10 years. What is coming out? I'm not building my village. I'm not buying no car. What's happening here? I'm resigning. So I think the key thing we really have to do is to ensure that we have the best skill of ensuring that at least we put people into confidence by way of giving them shares. But three things the staff wants if you want to retain them. Number one, they want the job to be challenging. A job that's not challenging, people will leave. So if you have an office and a chair, you give to them and they are there 24/7, they will not want to come again. So if you tell them, oh, you're going to come on assignment in Gambia, and from there go to Europe, and you'll be coming back to, if you don't mind, you branch in Paris, and then come and bring a report in Lagos and file it and go for 2 weeks on the day. Oh, they're going to take up that job, because that job is challenging. That is worse when you say, you will sit down in the office, you are going to do just treat the file and send it back. That's a big problem. That job is so challenging. Two, they want security. Anybody working in any environment wants security. They want the job to be secure. They don't want the threat of the fact that they cannot be too sure that they're going to be here for the next 1 year. So let's do what we can do and get out of this place. So job security must be certain.
I know you're still interested in the governorship seat in Ondo State. What can you do with political power that you cannot do with the economic power that you so clearly have now?
Yeah, political power is different from economic power. Economic power is towards self-satisfaction of your person. I fly my private jet, I get to London, I stay in Bishop Avenue. That's private. That's for me and my family. But that doesn't deny the fact that people are suffering in the village where I was born. That they have no water, they have no road, they have no good road, they have no access. I don't have the money that I can use to build road for everybody in Ondo State. That I don't have the money to do electricity for all of them. I get this government resources they're going to use. Now and again, there are natural resources deposited in Ondo State that have to be converted to cash, which will be for the advantage of the people. Now, let's take one or two examples. Local projects. Ondo State has a water dip of about 33,000 metric ton of any ship load of petrol can land in Olokola. Now, Olokola is bush. He's looking at you are looking at her. So both of you, how do you turn this to advantage? Get the better to do a jetty there. All the ships that are in Lagos here, that are paying during the general body, they will move there. Now the people, what can come to Lagos water is 10,000 metric ton. You can take 33,000 metric ton, don't do. So the 33,000 metric ton vessels are in the high sea. So you use a smaller vessel to go off loads and come to Lagos water, waterway every other time. This same water vessel can go straight to Olokola and park. We have enough drafts of the water there. So why are you looking at the governor? So these are the issues that we are looking at. So that's why public service is quite different. Why the students have no education? Why can't we convert the school to boarding? These are the challenges that we are looking at. People say, oh, there is too much. What do you mean there is too much? Those states are not producing states. So we try and offer ourselves to see what we can do uniquely to see that we create value, economic value to the state. We talk about infrastructure. How do you build infrastructure? The criteria to build infrastructure are right in the states. And you are not turning them to advantage. Look at farming. You see, anything you put on the land grows. So how do you think that the people who continue to use cutlass at this stage to do their farming, and you think it will be attractive enough to continue farming? It's not possible. You have to go to mechanized farming. So if you can get the road shortened out, you can create wet through a local project, you can create wet through swap, you can get the boarding school back, then you are creating value to the economic development of the state. And this is what the people need. So if I offer myself for service, and if government feel I should be okay to do it, if the people think, let's Ibrahim try it, that'll be quite fine. And then I'll be able to perform within 4 years, I'll be fine. And if they say no, they have a better choice than me, it's okay by me. That at least it's a record that I did offer myself with this. Okay. I remember when you were reading my CV, the only one you say is unfortunate there is the unsuccessful attempt for governorship in 2003. It's amazing. This sort of thing, the history is there. So I try it again, and I will have stopped doing this. But when I gathered my children and I asked them the last time, I want to run. Do you support? I was amazed. Everybody said, go and do it. Look at the consequences on you if I decide to do this. It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and do it. If it's for the people. So to me, we try and present ourselves again. If it's okay by the people, let it be. If it's not okay, I'm very grateful. But I think that will be the last attempt that we will do in time of presenting ourselves.
Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim, we wish you well, and we thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
And we thank you for watching. Please join us again next time when View from the Top returns. But between now and then, let's continue the conversation online at channelstv.com. Also follow me on Twitter at ModelSY, so you know who my next guest is, and so we can discuss some more about this interview with Dr. Jimoh Ibrahim. We thank you again, and I hope to see you again sometime soon.